Okay guys, so in this video we're taking a look at the FIMI X8 SE. This is made by Xiaomi, and I did reviews on the A3 earlier. That's with the non-folding version with the 1080p camera. This has a 4K camera, a real 4K camera with a stabilized 3-axis gimbal. The A3 only had a 2-axis gimbal. As you can see here, it's on a bunch of rubber dampening balls there, so it should have very stable footage on all 3 axes. It does have some sensors on the bottom. It's got an optical flow sensor and ultrasonic sensor. It's for maintaining position and height, so we'll see how stable it is in the air. Obviously it does have GPS. Has a pretty large battery here, 3-cell 4500 milliamp hour. You just press the button here, it lights up and it shows you the power level on there. It's supposed to last 30 minutes or something like that. And we'll see how long it lasts. Of course, this is very similar to the Mavic Pro. It's got the folding props, of course, and the folding arms. I think you're supposed to pull out the front arm first. This is the front here. Pull this one out, and then the back one will come out. It's got a very nice, satisfying click on the back arm. But yeah, it does pop back. If it does hit something, it should pop back. But yeah, it could, yeah, there's some resistance there, so it should pop back. So pretty similar again to the way the Mavic Pro works. There is a micro SD card slot here somewhere. Let's see. Right over here on the side, and it's got a little door. So in here you got your micro SD card slot. You got a Wi-Fi and RC switch there, so you can just control this with your phone only. And you have a little bind button and a little micro USB port there. And I like the fact that it has a little door here so that the card can't eject. The bottom here is actually, I think it's metal, so for heat dissipation. So I'm not sure if there's a fan there or not, but yeah, this obviously is going to get pretty hot. So this is metal, it's nice. And then take a look at the controller here. It's kind of like the slide out here, so it can accommodate a pretty large phone, maybe even a small tablet. And the little sticks here do screw off, so they store right over here if you don't want the sticks to be hitting anything. Pretty basic controls on here. Obviously, centering sticks, got altitude hold. You have a switch over here. This little red switch is for return to home, so slide that over and you'll get return to home. Yeah, this is your power button, so short press and long press will turn it on. And then you have a red light here if it's not, doesn't have a GPS lock. You got a little 5-directional button joystick here that will like little shortcuts to certain functions. And then this is your automatic takeoff and landing button right here. And then here on the back you have 2 buttons for, I think, shooting photos and recording video. This dial over here on this side is for adjusting your exposure value. And then the dial over here is for toggling your gimbal up and down. You have a little door in the bottom. This is where the little cable goes in to plug into your phone. It comes with a USB-C, micro USB, and lightning connector. And then just a USB-A connector there, and then you have a micro USB slot there for charging. That's pretty much it for the controller. I think it's a 3000 milliamp hour 1S battery, so it should last a pretty long time. So let's get this one in the air, see how it flies. Okay, let's get everything set up here. Don't have a lot of time. I think the battery only lasts like 25 minutes. I have flown this a couple times and didn't get quite the full 30 minutes. Got full charge. So I'm not going to be able to test everything. So if I miss anything that you guys want to see, let me know in the comments and I'll do that for the next video. Let's go ahead and set this down, turn it on. And turn on the controller. start recording the phone screen. It looks like we just got a video back, so it's bound to the drone. Can't take off yet, no GPS. Okay, so we got a GPS lock. Go ahead and start recording video from the drone. And let's hit the one-touch takeoff button. There it goes. It goes up about, looks like about 2-3 meters. Pretty stable. There's not a lot of wind right now. I'm bringing it down a little closer here. A little bit of wind. Alright, so you can see here, totally hands off. The positioning system is working pretty good. Go ahead and fly it around a little bit here. Just to see how it performs. It's very smooth, very controllable. Alright, this is full stick forward. This is the normal mode. Let's turn it around here. Full stick forward again. So it's maintaining altitude pretty good. I think the speed in normal mode is about 8 meters per second. And full stick forward. So let's bring it around here. Yeah, it's very maneuverable. So I'm gonna try the sport mode. That's the camera settings. Let's try the sport mode here. So 18 meters per second is the max speed in sport mode. Alright, so let's raise it up just a little bit here. Alright. And forward, full speed. So you can see that does take a little bit of time to stop. But if you reverse it like that, actually force it the other direction, it'll stop. But if you just let go of the stick, it drifts a little bit more. It's pretty fast. Alright, so look at the yaw speeds like. This is in sport mode, really fast. That'll probably make you super dizzy. Let's go. This is a full stick right. It's full stick left. Yeah, you can see how much there. I just let go. It just drifts probably about 3-4 meters, at least 5 meters. So keep that in mind. Alright, so that's enough with sport mode. There is a beginner mode as well that limits your speed, distance, and height, but we won't be testing that today. You can see here on the screen we have 2 bars of magnetic interference, so I really ought to do a compass calibration and land, but I don't have a lot of time here. Basically you just do a compass calibration dance. You just spin the drone around. It has instructions on the screen. Spin around horizontally and then vertically with the camera down. This does have a precise landing mode. I think that's if you have like some sort of a landing pad that you can recognize. It might not work because they just took it off from the concrete, so it might not work with that. Let's just go right into. So before I go into the intelligent flight modes, I do want to test a couple things with the camera. So I have it pointing at me here. And we'll go back a little bit here. Let's get a little bit of an aerial view. So I'm manually doing a Dronie here. And we're going to go up a little bit. And so this has been in the standard picture profile for the camera, so I'm going to stop this and I'm going to change the profile. I think it's in here under camera. Yeah, so I'm recording 4K 30, NTSC, high quality video, auto white balance. Color is general, that's just the what it comes out of the box. There's vivid, it's going to be more saturated, but I'm more interested in the F-log, which I suppose is supposed to be like a flat picture profile, I suppose. Not 100% sure on that, but here it is in the F-log. I'm going to record that. And just get a little bit of the video in the F-log format. So I am panning it around pretty slow manually in the normal mode. So if I do full stick normal mode, it's like that fast. But let me show you what cinematic mode will look like. I'm sorry, not cinematic mode. Tripod mode. Okay, so still recording video. Full stick. This is full stick left in tripod mode. Still pretty fast, but I can go slower now if I don't go full stick. So partially moved stick over, you can see now it's much slower than it was before. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm liking this F-log. It's still pretty saturated looking on the phone screen. It doesn't look that flat to me. Yeah, I'm already at 80, what is it, 81% battery. Alright, let's just get a one rotation here. So I think tripod mode is going to be more slow when you go forward and backward. Yaw doesn't seem to be that slow on full stick. Something that they could possibly improve. Alright, I'm going to stop that recording and let's go back into the picture profiles. So there's color and then there's style. So yeah, saturation and contrast are 64. That's default. And let's go into here. So maybe try film. Okay, that's really that's kind of old school. There's classic. I'm not really sure I'm liking all of these profiles, so I'm gonna go back to general and we'll start recording video again. Exit out of tripod mode here, and let's do some of these intelligent flight modes. I'm bringing this back down. I'm liking how stable this one is. Very stable, really locked in, and I can tell the video looks really smooth. Okay, bring it closer to me. You can see I'm really jerking it around, but the camera is the video looks really smooth. That gimbal's working really well. You can see I'm just jerking it back and forth here. Yeah, but the video is looking really smooth. So I'm going to try one of these intelligent flight modes. I'll try the Dronie. We'll try the invert. Drag a rectangle around me. Okay, so it's followed me. So I'm gonna raise it up here, and you can see that it's tracked me. And, you know, even though I raised it up, so it is tracking me. So I'm going to try a Dronie from this angle, and let's try 5 meters per second, and let's go out not too far here. Let's go like about 40 meters, and we'll do an auto return. So this auto, yeah, since I'm already recording, it should just start recording again. Yeah, it doesn't start a new video, so it's just going to do a Dronie, just basically zoom away. I'm wondering if I have control of the gimbal at all. I do have control of the gimbal, but then I lost target while I was in the middle of that. And I think it stopped. Yep, it did stop. So I'm going to exit out of that. Okay. And so it did not do an auto return when I stopped it manually, so I'm going to have to bring it down myself. Yeah, so I was wondering if it would adjust mid-air while you're doing the Dronie. It doesn't do that, so I'm going to do this again. Just bringing this down quick. This full stick down, by the way, here. raise up. Alright, let's try that one more time. Dronie, inverts, drag a drop box around me, and let's go. Let's increase the speed 4.5 meters per second, and we'll go to like about 40 meters auto return. Let's go. 67% battery, so yeah, I don't think I'm going to be demonstrating all of these intelligent flight modes. There the drone, it goes in the Dronie. Okay, looks like now it's starting to come back. So I like that feature. It did lose track of me, but yeah, I can tell it lost track of me. Okay, so now the video stopped. I'm going to do this. I'm going to start another video file. And let's try the Smart Track. I'm probably going to have to walk around for this one. So we're going to do trace. To drag a box around me. And hit go. So it's definitely, it's yawing for sure. Now it won't go backwards. If I go move towards it, it won't go backwards, but it should follow me. If it's going towards me, it'll go forwards, but it won't go backwards. So let's see if it's in the Smart Track mode, if I fly it back like so. Okay, is it still tracking me? It is still tracking me. And I think it's a contrast based tracking, so it just sees me in this like green background, so it might not work well in a not so contrasty background. But if I move can I move the gimbal down? No, doesn't let me do that. So if I move towards it, will the gimbal follow me? Yes, it is. It looks like it is following me. It is rotating down. Okay, so that seems to be working pretty good. Go ahead and exit out of that mode. Let's try the other one, profile. This is draw a rectangle around the subject. The drone will trace your target from a parallel perspective. Please fly in an open area. Okay, so this is probably, it shows a little car here and the examples, so let's bring this down. And let's see how it does, maybe tracking me along this little concrete path here. Let's raise the gimbal up. Alright, so let's get me in the shot, and then I'll draw a little box around me. And it'll go. Let's see, is it going sideways? It is. It doesn't seem it's that much different from the other one, but I think maybe this is just for more of a sideways type of video, like following cars in that little example that they were showing. You can see that's working pretty good. So that one works nice. Okay, we'll go ahead and stop that. And the last one is lock. Okay, so it has a little guy and then the drone's going around in a circle. So drag a rectangle around the subject. The camera will follow your target from a fixed perspective and speed. Okay, so it probably means it's not going to move around and follow me. It'll just yaw. So I'm going to... Okay, so it has a 0 meters per second. Okay, I'm not really sure what that is, so I'm going to see, is it yawing around to follow me? It is. Okay, so it's working like before. I have a feeling this is going to do an orbit, so let's see if I bump it one way or another. Does it do anything? No. What about... Okay, so I tapped on the screen. It says 0.4 meters per second. So it's following me and maybe doing an orbit. So let's speed this up a little bit here. 1.5 meters per second. If I go in the same direction, it is going, it is still trying to orbit me. Okay, so I'm gonna go this way. Oh, this is very interesting. So it's keeping me in the shot while orbiting me. So I'm wondering if I can adjust this by going backwards and up. All right. And will it continue, or is it just stopping? It looks like the orbiting has stopped. Looks like it just stopped completely. So if you manually touch the sticks, it looks like it'll just stop. Let's see if I have it go the other way. Okay, I tap the screen to switch it to the other direction. Let's go, maybe go faster. Let's go real fast here. So it's orbiting while it's tracking me. I don't have control of the gimbal. So there's no obstacle avoidance sensors in this thing, so you got to be careful. Do this in an open area. Okay, so that's working pretty good. So I'll stop this. I think that's a very interesting mode. Go ahead and stop this now. And I am at 47% battery. So I'm not gonna do the waypoint or the tap to fly. And this one, I think that's going to take too long. Let's try the spiral. Actually, there's orbit mode, which I could kind of see that was already working in the Smart Track. I want to try the spiral mode. Okay, so we have to. I'm going to make it spiral pretty much over me. And have it go up a little bit here. Looking straight down, so there I am. Okay, so I'm going to set the center, and then we're going to set the radius. Okay, setting the radius, and then we'll have a max distance of 26 meters. Let's bump that up a little bit, 40, let's try like 54 meters. I'm not going to do a return to home. And let's go. Alright, there it goes. There was a little bit of a delay. Now it's working. So I believe what this does is it'll orbit and zoom away and actually increase in altitude. So it should be rising up. Yeah, it is going up kind of slow, 25 meters. I don't have control of the gimbal, so it's locked where it was set. Yeah, it is definitely going up. So you're getting a nice little kind of a pan shot of the area while it is increasing in height. That's pretty nice. I think it's going to go one orbit around, and then I think it's going to stop. Yep, there it goes. So that stopped, and then when it completed that mission, this time it stopped the video, so I'm going to start video recording again. So we hear that 3 beeps from the transmitter. Means that it's going to stop recording. We're ready to bring it back here. It's not that noisy. I thought it would be pretty noisy, but it's pretty quiet. Okay, so I'm going to show you the tripod mode. I'm going to bring it real close. It's really slow. And you'll need something in the background for reference to really demonstrate how slow it is in tripod mode. I think this bench here might be a good example. I'll line it up here. Go into tripod mode. We'll bring it down a little bit here, and I'm going to move it forward. This full stick forward here. You can see how slow that is. Let's bring it over here. Alright, let's full stick back. So that gives you an idea how useful that could be in certain situations. There's full stick to the left, full stick to the right. We'll go ahead and exit out of that mode. It's good for nice and slow shots. Alright, so, okay, we have another mode here. It's called course lock. I think this is basically headless mode, so you could yaw it around and it'll still move it away from here a little bit and up. Basically, you can yaw it around, but it'll still go in the direction of the right stick. So I'm going to hit go. This is a control stick to adjust the direction of heading, then click go, lock to lock head. Okay. So I'm gonna lock the heading in that direction. So forward and backwards still work. You can see that's forward and backwards. So I think that if I yaw it around like this, it's still going to go in that direction. So you could do like kind of weird stuff like this. That's what headless mode is. Oh, I have a low battery warning already. Alright, so I'm going to exit out of that mode. That's basically headless mode. I'm not sure how useful that is. And yeah, 28% battery. I'll put up on the screen what it is here. So that's going to do it for today's video. It's how much flight time you get on up to 30% battery. That's when you want to land. And if you hear that when you're far away, definitely head back to wherever you took off from. Obviously you want to do that when you're at 50% battery, not 30% battery, but yeah. Alright, so I'm going to bring it down kind of close, and then I'm going to hit the auto land button. There it goes. It should stop the props, and then yeah, it stops the video when you land as well, so that's another feature. Yeah, low battery, I know, thank you. Yeah, I'm at 25% battery now, so I'll put up on the screen what the total flight time was up to the landing at 25% battery, so you guys have an idea of the flight time, because I don't think it's quite 30 minutes, but yeah, I think it's still pretty decent. Anyway guys, that's gonna do it for this video. You guys have any questions, let me know, and also requests for the next video, do leave me some comments, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Okay, so we're just going to do a quick unboxing of the FIMI X8 SE, and as you can see here in the box it says this is a pre-production sample, so the final version might look a little different from this. Some of the features here on the box: 4K camera, 3-axis gimbal, that's a folding arm design of course, smart track, smart flight features, 5-kilometer range, I don't know if I'll go that far, 33 minutes of flight time, and precision vision positioning system. I think that's for like precise landing. That's something similar to what DJI has. Okay, so in the box you have quick start guide and some safety instructions. And the quick start manual is pretty small. So it's probably a more in-depth manual online. If you guys want to know where that is, I'll add a link to the description. So yeah, leave me a comment below if you want that. Here's the drone itself. Take a look at that in a second. And it looks like we got a bag here with the propellers. Got the controller. Got another bag, another set of propellers. So it's probably right-handed, left-hand propellers here. And we have a power cable, a standard US plug on this one. And this is for the charger. So this is the battery charger. This is where the wall outlet will go into here, and the battery gets charged here with these pins. Pretty standard. Okay, so the looks like the output on is 13 volts and 3 amps. I think it charges to high volt. Okay, so we have some of these cables here. This goes to your phone, and then the controller. So standard USB. I think this is USB-A over here on this side. And we have a lightning connector here for Apple. I have a USB-C and micro USB, so should work with pretty much any phone. Here's the controller itself, power button. I think it's an internal battery. Yeah, you got a couple buttons back here. So they're labeled A and B. Not sure what those functions are. Looks like this is turn to home and maybe sport mode over here. You have, this is probably this dial is for exposure, and over here is up and down for the gimbal. You see there's no sticks on here. The sticks are stored over here. You just screw them on, so it's nice to tuck that away, and then this will be nice and flat in your bag so that the sticks don't get damaged. And then you can put a pretty big phone in here, or even a small tablet. You can see it stretches out. So I like that feature a lot. Cable will go in here and then to your phone. And I think it plugs into the bottom here. So the USB port there is for the cable, and then that micro USB there is probably for charging the internal battery. And then we have a button here for selection probably, and you have a little joystick for selecting it. It's probably on the smartphone in the menu system. And then the battery inside here is a 3900 milliamp hour 1S LiPo, so it should last a pretty long time. Okay, so here's a look at the drone itself. The batteries are already installed. So I have this little foam piece here that is kind of protecting the gimbal. It is kind of loose here, so looks like they're saving some money here by just using a piece of foam. Not sure how effective that is, or if the camera will be damaged. But this is the highlight of the system: 4K 3-axis gimbal on a low budget, drone here. So yeah, it looks like it's pretty similar to something like a Mavic Pro type camera. On the bottom here we have some sensors. I think this is ultrasonic sensor for keeping height, and then we have a optical flow sensor as for positioning, so they probably use these two things to maintain position along with the GPS. You have some little feet here, keep it off the ground along with the arms. And then this here is all metal, it looks like, so it's probably for dissipating heat. I'm sure the thing is pretty hot. And looks like you will have to fold the front arms out first, so this is the front here. And there's a nice click when and it snaps out, and it looks like it does. It's spring loaded, so it stays in place. And this is the back arm. Not as strong of a spring loaded action here, but it will snap back. So that's what it looks like unfolded. Props go on here with a little spring here. You just rotate them. Pretty similar to the FIMI A3 and a lot of other drones. And here's the, take the battery off first here. So I'm not sure if this is a smart battery, if that it'll actually discharge on its own or not. I don't think it is. It does show you the power available in the battery, pressing the button there. And it does show that the max charge of voltage here is 13.05 volts. Nominal is 11.4 volts. This looks like it is a 3S LiPo, 4500 milliamp hours. So yeah, it should be enough for those 33 minutes that they're claiming. And I think the last thing here is going to be this little door. I think that's where the micro SD card goes in. Yes, so micro SD card slot, 64 gigabytes I think is the max. Got a little micro USB port here, and then you have a little sliding switch here. You can change it from controlling it via the RC transmitter or Wi-Fi here, and I think that button is a reset button. Yeah, okay, so I think that's pretty much everything in the box.